Hey everyone, welcome into Wellverse Creations. We're going to do something really fun today and make some little charms out of resin in these cute little beach Christmas themed gems. So I've got a bunch of different colored resin, my little molds here. I think I'm going to use these little ones first. And then I've got that little pink light there. That's a little tiny light that will cure these in just seconds. I just love doing these. This is the resin that I got on Amazon, the clear, and then the multicolor I picked up at Hobby Lobby. So this is, like I said, this stuff I got off Amazon, and it does have a little bit of a smell when you light cure it, but it's not bad. And I'm going to put a little bit of this down first. There's a little nubbin that sticks up, and that will keep a space for the hole that you'll need if you're going to use this as a charm, which is what I plan to do. And then this is sort of a teal color that I like to start out with here. And I just want this to kind of look like water. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this blue color as well. There's kind of a medium and then this real light blue. And then you can leave them kind of separate but beside each other. But I'm going to go ahead and use a tool and blend these in just a little bit. There are just a whole plethora of tools that you can buy for this, but I'm just kind of using some of the stuff that I have on hand here. And again, like I said, I'm just going to blend this a little bit and work in layers here and cure it in layers, which I don't think you would necessarily have to do. But if you want to add things, I think it works a little bit better to do it this way. And so what I'm going to do here is just pick out certain things that I want out of this gem selection. And I just think the items in here are so cute. There's little shells, and then there's these little tiny foam snowflakes, and then there's like little blue pieces that I think kind of look like candy, and then there's little blue sea stars and some little crystal gems. So quite a variety here, and like I said, I just picked these up at Hobby Lobby, and I've sure had fun making shaker elements and all kinds of stuff with these. I've been using these gems for other things, for the beach themed journals that I made this past summer. And when I saw the cute little snowflakes, that's where I first got the idea to do a beach themed Christmas junk journal. So I had to have another tube. So I'm just, as you can see, I'm just kind of inserting these strategically and placing them. This particular mold is super tiny, this for earrings, but I thought it would make a really cute dangle. So I'm using this little plastic tool to just kind of poke those down in there and position them. And then I'm going to use this really tiny UV lamp and cure these for 60 seconds. Then what I'm going to do is add another layer of the clear, and I just pointed to that little nubbin because if you do this, you want to make sure that you don't cover that. That is the hole. And I'm planning to use this as a little dangle for my junk journal, so I'll definitely need a little hole there. But like I said, you could use this for jewelry. If you're making earrings or something, that'd be so cute, a little necklace. And so then I'm just using a lot of tools and things that I already had on hand. I already had that little UV lamp from a nail kit that I bought. So you don't always have to buy every single thing that you see. Like when you go in Hobby Lobby, there's tons of stuff that you can buy to do just this one craft. But you can get by with less if you kind of look around and see what you've got that you could sub out. Like a Cricut tool. I'm telling you, these are not just for Cricut making stuff. I use it so much. And they used to carry those at the dollar store. I'm not sure if yours still does, but you can check. And I always check there for craft supplies. I just find the coolest things. And now at our dollar store, we also have a $3 and $5 area, which isn't bad. I mean, you can still get some cute stuff. So, okay, so I've done that layer, and obviously now I'm just going to UV light cure this one more round. Okay, so that's done. Now what I'm going to do is yet one more layer of the clear. And I'm going to, again, avoid the little nubbin that makes my hole. And I am trying to make this so that it's nice and flush and smooth so that it won't have a concaved area when I take it out of the mold. Once I get it just right, I'm going to light cure this again for another 30 seconds. Okay, so now I've taken this out of the mold and I'm not very happy. So this was an experiment, and what I learned from this one was I could not see the little gems that I put down in there very well because my blue was just too blue. And so you learn, right? When you make what I would actually call a mistake because I can't see what I worked so hard for. So now I'm going to try it again, and I'm just trying to get like the little excess off here, off my mold. And I'm going to put down some clear first and rework this so that hopefully I am still able to put my little gems in, still have my color, but also be able to see them better. And that's just the way it is a lot of times with crafts. If you haven't done it before, you're just kind of figuring it out. But I also think that's just part of the fun. And this is a good idea to start with a really small one in case you don't like the end result. Then, well, you can start over and you haven't wasted too much stuff. So now I'm just simply going to pick out the same type of gems again and try it over. So now I'm just placing the gem that looks kind of like a little diamond, little rhinestone at the top. And then I'm going to go back and get two of the little snowflakes, and they are sort of a soft material, kind of like a little foam, and place those down in there. And then I'm just going to use my Cricut tool here, work out exactly where I want these placed, and try and get rid of the bubbles. In this particular application with the resin, I really don't mind the bubbles because it's water. So I think the bubbles just make it look more real. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is get my little UV lamp and light cure for 30 seconds. Oh, it looks really cute. I'm liking it now, and I'm just checking to make sure it's good and cooked and that I can see the little gems here. Now I'm going to add some color and see if that works better to have the color just more in the background. And I'm going in with the blue first this time. And then I'm going to take kind of this teal green color. Another lesson to learn, you can see the stain on the label because I stored these laying down and they leaked. So note to the wise, store them upright. So then I moved them to that little tiny container and I will store them upright. Then I went in with the teal, now I'm going back with even a little bit more blue. And I'm just going to kind of work that around. And it looks like I'm poking clear down in there, but remember that first clear layer is completely dry, so my gems are kind of protected from the tip of the tool here. And that's kind of a good way to use the color because then I can really direct it in and around the gems. It looks like that anyway when the final result is revealed. So then I'm just going to cure this for another 30 seconds before I even add the clear, so it kind of stays put. Okay, let's see what this looks like at this stage. See, I was really liking it, turning it over. I think I wanted to see a little bit more color, so I'm just going to add some more. This is the teal, and then I'm going to also add a little bit more of the blue before I blend it with the clear. And I'm recapping these while I have the UV lamp on because I'm just using a little tiny bit. I really want these to last and not get hardened. So I'm trying to be careful with the light. And then here I'm going to use my Cricut tool to just kind of blend this again. And I just want to see how much is enough without it being overkill in the background around these cute little snowflakes and the little diamond gem. More UV light for another 30. So let's see how much blue we got this time. I can see it a lot better around the snowflakes. So now I'm going to go in with the clear. And I just love that I can work in layers with this because it is runny, but it's not too runny that I can't have the colors stay put and then cure them a little bit at a time. So now I'm just working the clear up around the little nubbin, which is the hole. I don't want a bubble to break through there, and then I wouldn't be able to use a jump ring there to hold this as a dangle in my journal. So it looks like I'm going to add a little bit more color here. And that's what I tried with this, and it was better. And I just went ever so carefully with the color so that I wasn't overbearing with it. But because our gems are up front, it didn't prove to be a problem to add as much color as I wanted in the background. And I'm also trying to fill in areas that right up next to the edge of the mold. It seems to kind of pull away from the mold. And so I'm just kind of stirring that and making sure that it's touching so that I don't end up with holes. And then I'm going to light cure again for 30. Okay, let's check it. Still kind of warm. At this point, I could tell I really liked the effect of the beautiful blue waters in the background and keeping the gems toward the front. And I'm just going to top this off with one more round of the clear. And at this stage, it does matter if you get bubbles because it'll make holes, which will be kind of sharp. So I am going to work around and try and get the bubbles out with my Cricut tool. If you've got something like a thumbtack, that would work, or an awl, just something kind of sharp to pop them with. I hope you guys try this resin at home. It is so satisfying and fun. And I think it's limitless as far as colors and little gems that you want to put in it. So then as I get this finished, I'm going to light cure again for 30. Okay, let's check it. I think this is the final round. I'm just checking to make sure it was flush there. And it was still kind of warm. But I'm going to go ahead and unearth this one because I'm telling you, it's hard to be patient. And I just am checking here to make sure that I do still have my hole. Looks like it. Here we go. Yep, still have the hole. Isn't that cute? That was so fun. If you guys have kids, this would be so fun to make earrings with them. You could make all kinds of themes because this is just a teardrop shape, so any season would be cute. They even have little pressed flowers on Amazon. Now I'm going to do just a slightly larger teardrop shaped one, just shaking down my material and then flowing this resin in and around that little nubbin at the top and keeping my tip close to the bottom so that I don't get as many bubbles. And I'm just going to do this first layer and light cure this for 30 seconds. Here I am just using the Cricut tool again to smoosh it around and get bubbles out. Okay, so now I'm just busy placing some shells. I've got a blue kind of swirled one and a pink one, and then I'm going to place a little yellow one in there too. So fun picking out these little elements, some of which are from the little tube of gems that I showed you. And then I also found some in my own little shells that I have on hand. Then I'm going to place a couple cute little snowflakes in here. And light cure for 30 seconds. Okay, let's see how this is looking. Pretty cute. Again, I'm using the clear and my little elements are going down first. Now I'm going to add more clear at the top here. And again, when you're going in and around shells, you want to kind of fill them up with your resin because they do have air in them, and you kind of want to force the air bubble to come to the top so you can pop it. If it's in the middle and you don't mind that look, I think it's kind of cute because this is water. But again, you have to be careful if it's on the first layer or the top layer because then it'll actually make a little sharp hole. Here I am adding a little bit of glitter, and I'm just going to kind of direct this around in the bottom. Then once I get the glitter just right, I'm going to light cure again for 30 seconds before adding yet another layer. Okay, it's so fun to keep checking each layer just to see how it's turning out. It's looking pretty good there. Now we're just going to add some color, and so I've got a little bit of sparkle in this one with the glitter, and now I'm going to add some teal down at the bottom. And with this, there's a little bit of space in between the little shells where I can flow in some of this beautiful ocean water blue. And then I'm going to mix in this lighter blue color. And those two together just really look like the waves of an ocean, I think. Use my little Cricut tool and kind of swirl this around. And then I'm just kind of dragging it up a little bit so that it looks kind of like an ombre effect. Cure for 30 seconds again. Okay, let's see again how this layer is looking. It's always so exciting when I've added a little bit of color. Oh, that looks really good. I'm liking it. Now I think I'm just going to add a little clear. And just kind of flow this in up around the little hole. It's the little nubbin that holds the space for the hole. And then again, I'm going to drag the material around with my Cricut tool. And I'm cleaning that off because I don't want the resin to stick there on my bottle. And again, I'm working this over to the edge so that I don't have holes along the edge from bubbles that pop after I take this out, make it feel kind of sharp. If you do get holes though like that, you can fill them in and then just recure. And then you can also sand these, so it's not like the end of the world if that happens, but it just adds yet another step. So I'm just kind of nipping it in the bud here. And then we're going to light cure again and see how it looks. It's so beautiful. I really like it with just a touch of the glitter in there too. Now I'm going to go for the top layer, which is actually the back. And again, I want to flow this in and just make sure that it's kind of flush with the top of the mold. And I even make it look like it's kind of piled up a little bit, so it's kind of almost overflowing, and then it turns out really good. Okay, now for the fun part on this one, the big reveal. Let's see how I did. Looks good in the mold. It's pretty warm, so that's what I was just kind of waiting for it to cool down. And then I'm just going to pop it out, and they just come out so easily out of these molds. And then I always pop them out and check for the hole and make sure it goes clear through. Yep. And then there's a little bit of scruff there that can be taken off with a nail file, but look how beautiful that turned out. So shiny and sparkly. I love it. So for this one, it's a large rectangle, and I thought it would be so cute to put these little foam candy canes in here. And then I selected two little jingle bells, which are little charms, and they fit perfectly. So I was just trying them in. Now I'm going to take them back out. And then I'm going to put down a layer of the clear UV resin. And what I want to do here is a little different than what I did last time. These elements are thicker. So what I want to do is put down this first layer, go ahead and add my elements, and then cure. And I'm also going to add a little bit of this superfine glitter in and around them. The glitter is iridescent and gold. So pretty. So you can see that I'm going to try and add these little candy canes, but I realized they were not going to look exactly perfect unless I cut one of them in half and just kind of place it in there, because I want them to crisscross. So see, that's just not going to work. So here I am just cutting the one little candy cane, and then I'm just going to very carefully place the candy cane in and around the other one so that it looks like it continues on to the other side. Now that I've got the little candy canes placed, I'm working on these cute little jingle bells. Just getting them just right, and they obviously have a hole in them, so I'm going to light cure this and then I'll show you how I remedy that. So here we've light cured. I'm just kind of checking. It's holding, isn't that cute? It's holding that all in place there. So for this glitter, I put it on the spoon and then I'm just kind of tapping it and letting it sprinkle in. But this is ultra fine, and so I realized that it probably wasn't going to be exactly how I wanted it, because this particular glitter, unlike the blue, wasn't showing up as well. But I knew it would be just so pretty if I could get enough of it in just the right areas. Here it is so far, and you can see there's a gold shimmer there. Now I'm just adding a little bit of UV resin, flowing it in and around the little nubbin that holds the space for the hole. And then I'm going to strategically place this glitter. And because this UV resin is not yet cured, I can move it around and work it in. The final effect I'm going for is a beautiful shimmer with this iridescent glow to it, but I don't want it overdone. So let's cure and then check and see where we're at with it. When I turned this over, I thought I was definitely getting someplace with this glitter. I love this iridescent gold. Here I'm just adding more resin and more glitter. And it looks really cool to do the stages, because then there's some depth to the elements that are in this. So it looks like some of the glitter is in the foreground and some of it is in the background. It's super cool. Okay, so let's give it another go with the light curing, and then we'll check it. And on this one, I decided to just go with this beautiful iridescent gold glitter. I didn't think it needed to have any colors added to it. And then this is just my final round of the UV resin. And again, I'm going to kind of pile it up is what I say, but I don't have it running over the sides of the mold, but it looks like it's about to, just so you know, when you do yours, you want it nice and full. Okay, it's time to pop the candy cane one out. Looks so shiny and beautiful. Turned out nice and smooth too. Isn't this just so cute? Oh, you guys, I can't wait to use that in the junk journal. Love it. Still feeling creative, and so I decided to do the big oval one. I think that one looks so pretty. And I just picked out some of the gems from the tube. I love this starfish. And then in the same tube, there was this really cool piece that looks like an agate. Got a little shell there. See, there's a little agate. Just getting them perfect. I haven't cured the resin yet, so these are kind of sticking to it, which is what I wanted. Then I also went digging around in my little bin of shells and found another one. It's kind of a little flat one. Then I'm going to add some of the cute little foam snowflakes that came in the tube. And I'm just going to put 3. Snowing on the beach. Wouldn't that be fun? And gonna light cure for 30. Okay, now let's take a peek. So we've got 3 shells, an agate, and a starfish, and then these fun snowflakes. Now I'm gonna add in some ocean water. This is what I think these shades of blues and greens look like. And I'm kind of layering them because the ocean, when you look out at it, it looks kind of layered, and you get the different shades of the greens and blues because of the depth and probably what's under the water reflecting the light. So then I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the clear as well before curing the blue on this one. This is just such a fun, relaxing art form. I really encourage you guys to try it if you haven't. And the outcome is just so fun. You can do so many different things with these little charms. You could even stick one of those on a present for Christmas. Wouldn't that be cute? Do a little tie and then add some twine, like little red baker's twine would be so cute on a gift. Now I'm just kind of swirling some of the blues and greens up into the clear, and it'll just kind of look like movement in the water. I'm also being careful not to get too much of the blues and greens in and around the starfish because otherwise it won't show up as well. Okay, so it's time to cure and then check this one. Looks like it's coming quite nicely. I'm just going slow with the color so I don't overdo it, but I think it's coming along really good. Gonna add some clear here. Then I'm just gonna work it around and cure again. Okay, now let's have a look again. It's looking really good. Just going in for the final layer here now. So I flowed in the clear, now I'm just working it around to the edges, looking for any bubbles on this very top layer. Now for the exciting part. Let's see how this one turned out. I've got a nice little smooth surface on the top. And there it is. Turned out so cute. That is just beautiful. Now all I need to do is sand a little bit of the edges on these. Okay, I'm gonna get them all together in my hand here. These turned out so beautiful. If you haven't tried it, I hope you do. It's super therapeutic. And thanks you guys so much for watching.